Hi, happy holidays, everybody. I am Paul Chartier, and this is Heart of Gold. We have a Salvation Army half hour tonight. On the program first is Scott Van Fossen from the Salvation Army Boys and Girls Club. Welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate the invitation.
The title is obvious, Boys and Girls Club. Tell people where you're located, Scott, and tell them what you do.
We are located at 736 West Main Street. It's corner of West Main and Oliver Lewis Way, Newtown Pike area. It's the main campus of Salvation Army. I am the director of the Salvation Army Boys and Girls Club and oversee the day-to-day operations of the club, which includes after-school program, summer camp program. Days when school is not in session, we have kids there all day, and snow days, we have them all there all day. So that's basically what we do from a day-to-day basis.
Tell people how it operates, money-wise, and kids go to school every day. So how do they end up at the club?
We have a wonderful partnership with the Fayette County Public Schools. The superintendents, last several superintendents, have blessed us with the opportunity to bring children through the school district buses in our area down to our club, and that averages about 75 kids a day.
Is it the same kids every day, or is it kind of on a rotating basis?
It's the same kids every day. Mm-hmm. That's what we like to see. Average daily attendance 4 to 5 days a week. We feel we have the most impact the more often they come. So we are able to reach those children throughout the school year and summertime.
And they show up about what time every day?
The first bus arrives about 3 o'clock. The last bus arrives about 4:15, and we have operational hours until 6 o'clock in the evening.
So then you work from about 3 to 6 every day, don't you?
Yes, yeah. My office hours begin at 10, so banker's hours.
That's not bad. How are the kids selected that come there, Scott?
It's open enrollment, and we do advertising through the school systems. Word of mouth is our biggest way to get children there, satisfied parents. We do, unfortunately, have to charge a fee for our program. It is expensive to run a program. We'd like not to, but along with that, we have scholarships available for the children who attend. We are licensed through the state of Kentucky, which enables us to participate in a child care assistance program. And that program is run through the state, where families who may not be making enough to have after-school care for their children, they enter into a contract with the state, and then we work with the state to get payment for those parents.
Is it, and I'm trying to understand the logistics of this, you've got 75 kids from certain neighborhoods, certain regions of the city?
Yeah, certain schools. There's specific schools that are brought there to our location. It's based on the district and how the public school system has that aligned for us.
So you've got how many schools in all?
Six.
Six schools, 75 kids, and then I'm trying to understand this, does one bus go to the 6 schools? I mean, how does all that work?
Yeah, each school will provide transportation down to our club. So for example, we have Sandersville School, we'll bring them down. We have Booker T, we have Harrison, Maxwell Elementary, we have LTMS Middle School, we have Meadowthorpe Elementary, and then we do get a few high school kids from Lafayette.
And what, they have to apply, and what kind of criteria do you use to select the kids that get to attend?
We really don't have any criteria. They just have to meet certain guidelines set forth by the state. In our case, they have to be of school age. So they have to be enrolled in kindergarten. You know, the summer before doesn't count for them to go to for our summer camp. They have to be enrolled in kindergarten to qualify, and we're licensed for school age children, which takes us all the way up to 18.
So when the kids come on your campus, what does a typical day look like for them?
Typical day is when they get off the bus, we check them in. We have log them in every day in the computer. They will go to a snack area because kids are hungry when they get off the bus. Some of them haven't had something to eat because they have 10:30 morning is typical for a lot of kids to have lunch at that time. They'll have some what we term free time, where we have a full-size gym that they'll be able to shoot baskets, kick soccer ball. We open up our computer lab. We have 20 personal computers where they can get on there and play their games that they want to. At 4 o'clock, we bring them all back into the gym, and then they do rotations based on their age group. So K1 are together, second, third grade, and then fourth and up. And so those rotations consist of 45-minute gym time, 45-minute in the computer lab, and then 45 minutes in the game room that we have. But we also have a homework room where we have 2 teachers that come in from Fayette County, and they help the children with their homework. They're there 3 days, if not 4 days a week.
Can kids, how many years can they go through the Boys and Girls Club?
It's pretty amazing. We've actually had children start out in our early learning center, which is infants 6 weeks to school age, and then all the way through high school. We've had a couple of them. So some of them have been there, 8, 9, 10 years.
And you've been with the Boys and Girls Club how long?
Since 2007. So I've seen a lot of these children grow up, get to meet their parents. You build relationships through that time, and it's fun to watch them grow up.
What have you seen in these kids that when they come in versus when they evolve and develop? What do you see in them?
The time that they spend in there, they develop the social skills needed. They build up tolerance. They feel good about themselves, self-esteem, because they're able to do their homework. We give them an opportunity to do that. We have them do a Lexia Reader program, which is in the school system. We bought seat license for our children to do that, and we require them to do math and reading skills prior to them playing the games on the computer. So it's the whole package. We want them to develop across the board, not necessarily athletically only, but socially, emotionally, and physically, and academically.
So your mission statement is to help the entire young person, not just the athletic person or the student part of it.
Exactly, yes, because we have a lot of children down there that aren't particularly interested in athletics. We give them the gym time because we feel they need the exercise. Now they may be doing their somersaults or other things or games of tags, but that's what it's there for, to give them the opportunity to get that exercise, because sometimes they don't get it in school.
These kids that come there, they go to their own school, but then they form their own team at the Salvation Army. Do they kind of form their own friendships that may be long-term beyond what they do normally in the neighborhood? I
would think so, because you'll have parents who have the authorization to pick up other kids from the club to go home with them for the evening. Or you'll hear them talk about they're going to have a sleepover or a birthday party. So it's more than just at the club after 6 o'clock. A lot of times these relationships build in the evenings and on the weekends.
What do you hear from the parents about they may be involved in their kids' academic lives, they may not. So what do you hear from them as they go through the Boys and Girls Club?
The number one thing that we hear is the support they get from the homework teachers. They want their child to go to homework because a lot of times these parents are working two jobs. Grandparents, aunts, and uncles are often picking up the children at the club because the parents trying to make ends meet. And so they can get that done here, spend some quality time with them, home dinner, whatever they need to do. They know the homework is done, they know it's done correctly, and then they can move on with their evening. Are you capped out every semester for students, or can you always accept more? We are currently have a waiting list right now. Okay. We're licensed for a lot more. We just don't have the space to do so. But once again, we have restrictions on us based on what the state says we're allowed to do. So it comes down to a number of staff versus the number of children you can have. With a waiting list, you don't want an avalanche of more applicants, but for the services you provide, you want to select the families and the children that need the most help. What would be a description of who you want to apply at the Boys and Girls Club? About 80% of our children who attend there need some sort of assistance financially. That's who we're there to help the most. For instance, the children at the lodge, although you hope you wouldn't see children from the lodge come down to the club, we're there for them. They are bumped up in priority, so if we have space available, they're moved to the top of the list. Do you have, you say scholarships for kids? Where do you get the money for those scholarships? Good question. We have a fundraiser in May, a golf outing out the University Club, that all the money that's generated from that will be set aside for the scholarships to help defray the cost for those people who may not qualify for the Child Care Assistance Program. We pick that up, if they fall through the cracks that way. And believe it or not, some of the money raised through the Red Kettle campaign
Mm-hmm.
goes back to the Boys and Girls Club.
And what is tuition there for a semester or for a year?
It goes weekly, $35 a week.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the summer day camp, it's $90. And that's all inclusive with whatever we do during the summertime.
Mm-hmm.
All of our field trips are included that. Breakfast, lunch, the afternoon snack is all inclusive in that cost.
Let's give your website and phone number that if people are watching and they want to make a donation, can they do that?
Yes, sir. Yes. The number is 859-252-2582. And then the website is salvationarmy.org. salvationarmylex.org, I believe is what it is.
And does all that come to you? And then do you take that information of applicants and take it to a team, or what is that selection process?
Well, outside of a selection process, it's basically a first come, first serve when they get the application in.
Okay.
We make sure all the information is provided, make sure we're meeting the state standards. So immunization records, things like that, all that has to be on file for the children to start.
Scott, do you have a need for volunteers at the club?
We do, yes. And believe it or not, the children love those volunteers. I mean, it takes them a day or two to warm up to them. A lot of times we'll have people come in and just observe for classes, and then they're supposed to be hands off, but the children just can't keep their hands off of them. So yes, they really like that one-on-one attention, whether it's shooting baskets or doing something in the computer lab or sitting down at one of the tables at the homework room. They love it.
Besides yourself, how big is the staff?
We have another full-time program director and then 4 part-time staff that come in every day at 2:30.
And those are the teachers that come in?
No, those are students that are adults that lead the groups. And then other than that, we have the 2 teachers that come in from Fayette County.
And then how much room do you have for volunteers?
We can, we've taken groups of 8 or 9 at a time. So typically 2 or 3, 4 throughout the day would be ample for us.
And for people that are watching that want to volunteer, what's the normal time frame that they would come in and then leave at night?
3 to 6, basically first when the children arrive, 3 to 6. Now they're not obligated to be there during that entire time. There is a process to go through to be approved. The background checks, because we want to make sure that the people who are working with the children have been so-called vetted,
Yes,
and make sure that they are able to work with children.
Yep. In the last minute, what plea would you like to make to people to either volunteer or send their children to the Salvation Army?
Well, we're a year-round program. We have space in the summertime. There are a lot of quality programs out there, and we feel we have a quality program as well. There are a lot of choices for parents to make, but we feel we can support their children and give them the time and attention that they need throughout the day, either during the school year or the summertime.
Well, you've got great name recognition. And in closing, thank you for helping kids one at a time, because getting them on the right path makes us a better community.
Well, thank you.
So thank you for that. And in closing, give the website again and the phone number, Scott.
It's the phone number is 859-258-2582, and then the website is www.salvationarmylex.org.
Thank you. We'll be right back with the other folks from the Salvation Army to talk about all the great things they're doing for the holidays. I'm Paul Chartier. We'll be right back on Heart of Gold.